All right, hello everybody. This is Sunny with Bottom Split, and I'm here with a let's call this "Don't Get Taken for a Ride, Buyers Beware" guide. This video is primarily targeting people who you didn't get a wheel and pedals for Christmas, and you're going to use your Christmas money to buy wheel and pedals, or you want to get started in sim racing. You just saw the Formula One final, and Max Verstappen just won. And now you're interested in sim racing because he talked about it, and he said how it helped him prepare and stuff like that. So you're getting really into sim racing, but you have no idea what to buy, and you don't want to make a mistake. The worst thing you could do is you spend money on something and you end up making a mistake. So to parents out there, you want to buy wheel and pedals for your kid, maybe they're into sim racing and you're not sure what to get them. First, if even after watching this video you're still confused, just leave a comment on the video and I'll help you out to the best of my abilities, or you could even shoot me an email. The fastest way to get help is probably on Reddit, on the sim racing subreddit, or on the Facebook groups for sim racing. And there's also Race Department. Race Department is a little bit elitist towards high-end hardware, so you might have some trouble getting answers there because the people there can be a little bit stubborn about, recommending extreme hardware that's way out of your price range. The first recommendation that I would have is probably the Reddit for sim racing, because you know how bad Facebook can get, even if it's in a specialty group like that. So yeah, let's dive in. I'm going to start from $0 and I'm going to go up a couple of price brackets, and I'm going to let you know why there's maybe nothing in between certain price ranges and why you might want to spend more to move up to another price range. So let's get started. First price range is $0 to $100. So can you get a wheel and pedals for $100 to get started in sim racing? The answer is yes, with a few caveats. So there is the Driving Force GT. If you search for this on eBay, you might be able to find one for 80 bucks, at most 100. Certainly, I would try to keep it under $100 with shipping as much as possible. Try to find one in good condition with a reputable seller, someone who has good selling history. Don't buy anything on Craigslist unless you're absolutely confident that you can conduct the transaction safely. But on eBay, a Driving Force GT is maybe not a bad idea. It's pretty old, so finding this on Amazon or Best Buy is most likely not going to be possible. This thing came out in, I don't know, 2007 or something like that, or 2008. So it's fairly old, so it's not being sold inside the stores. This is the best way to get it. The reason why I recommend this is because it does have force feedback. So you can actually feel the wheel move back and forth on its own, and it comes with the two pedals and it has a shifter. Do not get the T80, either the Ferrari edition or any other T80, because that wheel has what's called a rubber band technology, or it's basically elastic, which means the wheel doesn't move by itself. It doesn't actually have a force feedback motor inside of it. It just sort of, you turn it and it gets harder to turn the further you turn, and then it just automatically spins back to center. That's not real force feedback, and if you get that, you might be a little bit disappointed with the experience. So that's the first price range, Driving Force GT. $100 to $200 is kind of tough here, because right now in the market, a lot of people are selling stuff for exorbitant prices because sim racing hardware has been going in and out of stock over the last year and a half. So people are selling, like, this is the Logitech G27. It was the next wheel after the Driving Force GT. I think the Driving Force GT was also the G25. So this G27 came out in, I believe, 2011, and it has, among the actual wheel with the force feedback itself, it also comes with a 3-pedal setup with a clutch pedal, and the pedals themselves are much better than the Driving Force GT pedals. And it comes with an H-pattern shifter with 6 speeds and a reverse gear, and it also has buttons and a directional pad on the shifter itself. And it all came together as a set, which was nice because the newer Logitech wheel didn't come with the shifter. You had to pay extra for it. However, this price is a little more than I would pay for this. It comes with the shifter, yes, but it is pretty old. The most I would pay for this is 130 or 140 bucks. So if you have, 130, 140 to spend, and you absolutely know that you're not going to have another $50 coming down, in a week or two, then yeah, if you can find this for 140 or so, it would be an okay deal. I wouldn't say that it's a terrible deal, but to be honest, I think you would still be better off buying the Driving Force GT and spending the extra $50 or $60 on some actual sim racing games on Steam. So that's my recommendation. I think that this is overpriced. So I'm going to say no, this is a bad price. And the reason why is because if you keep a close eye out, so on Amazon, I found a T150 Pro. Let's get my keyboard working. I found this wheel. Amazon Warehouse had a sale where you get 20% off stuff on Amazon Warehouse. And there was a used like new sold directly by Amazon, like open box, I guess. And I was able to get this wheel pretty much new in the box for 180 bucks shipped. And that was on Amazon, meaning if I had problems, I could contact Amazon support. This is way better than the G27. I mean, it doesn't have the H pattern shifter, but it's much newer. The technology is much newer. It's not going to feel dramatically different, but I think you're going to like having this more than a 10-year-old G27. So the reason why I say G27 is not worth 190 bucks or 180 bucks is because I've seen sales where the G29 or the T150 go on sale. So yeah, from 100 to 200, I'll say if you can get a G27 for 140 or 150, that's your go-to. So that's my recommendation for that price range. Going to the $200 to $300 range, this is also kind of tough. What I'll say is there is the T150 Pro. Even if you can't get it for the amazing price that I was able to get it for, if you see it, MSRP for this is still $249.99. It's been discontinued by Thrustmaster, but there's still some places that have it in stock. So if you can find it for MSRP, it's not bad at that price. I would say $229 to $250 would be a good price for it. But Logitech is still selling the older version of what their new wheel replaces, which is the G29 or the G920. These two wheels, I think, are also worth pretty much $230 to $250. If you absolutely need something and you can find this for MSRP, it's not a bad deal. You'll enjoy it. It's good. It's worth 250 bucks. So if you see this for 250, I would much rather spend the extra 60 bucks over the G27 to get this and know that I'll have the newest version of it with a warranty and with support. I think it's a good deal for 250 bucks. It's been going out of stock a lot, so just keep an eye out on Amazon, keep an eye out on other websites, but that's what I would look for. If you can't find this in stock and you absolutely want something and you don't mind that the pedals are kind of so-so, Thrustmaster.com, on their website, they have the T150 stock. It's not the one that has 3 pedals. Just keep in mind, the T150 and the T150 Pro are 2 completely different setups. This one doesn't have the 3 pedals, and it's 229 bucks. So you can get that new. I still would rather have this than the G27 just because the G27 is so old, and I know that person selling it is definitely trying to rip people off, basically. 100%. They're trying to rip somebody off. So I would not pay that price for that. So T150 force feedback, worst case scenario, if you can't find anything else, this is a good compromise. That's my recommendation for up to 250 bucks. Don't spend more than 250 on a G29 or a G920 because you're getting ripped off. The MSRP is 250. Anything more than 250, yeah, that person's being a jerk and they're trying to make money off of you. So just don't fall for it. So after 250, this is where it becomes a little bit interesting. From 250 to $500, I have one recommendation, and I'm going to give you some reasons why. My recommendation is right here, the T300RS GT Edition. Yeah, it's a big jump. 250 to 450 is 200 bucks. But there's a reason why I'm doing that. Step by step, going from 250 up to 450, there's nothing that's better than what you can get for 250. Thrustmaster released a T248, which is supposed to replace the T150 Pro, but they made this thing $150 more expensive than the T150 Pro. And that price is only 50 bucks less than the T300RS GT Edition. But that $50 gets you so much that it would be a big mistake to get the T248 instead of the T300. The big difference is that with the T300, you can actually take the steering wheel off and put another Thrustmaster steering wheel on. Now, this is called quick release. It's not as quick as other wheelbases. You still have to twist this plastic ring to get it off, but it's still a release system that allows you to change the steering wheel. For some reason, Thrustmaster didn't include this on the T248. I'm going to talk about this in my T300 review video, but this steering wheel on the T248 is fixed to the wheelbase. Some people like this wheel, some people don't. If you don't like it, you're stuck with it. You could modify it maybe, or hack it to try to get another wheel to work. But with the T300, you get so many wheels. You get the open wheel add-on, you get the Ferrari Alcantara, you even get the extremely hard to get, maybe it's always sold out, it's the Formula SF1000 edition. You get that, and all of them keep console compatibility. So if you have more than $250 to spend, wait until you have $450 and just buy the T300RS GT Edition. This comes with the 3 pedals with the metal face. It comes with a decent steering wheel. It comes with 2 buttons on the wheelbase. It's 100% belt driven, and that's my recommendation for that. So occasionally this thing goes on sale. So if you're super patient, or if you don't mind taking a chance buying something used, I got my T300RS GT Edition for $280 on Mercari. So I think that if you shop around, you might be able to find somebody who has this for a good price. And if you're in Japan and you want a T300RS GT Edition, I'll sell you mine for $250. I already tested it. It works 100%. It has a couple of scratches on the back of the shifters, but it's less than a year old and it's in perfect condition. So if I'm willing to sell you one for $250, someone out there is willing to sell you one for $250. I wouldn't try eBay though, because everybody's trying to rip people off there. For getting a T300RS GT Edition used, I would try OfferUp or Mercari or one of those applications that have buyer protection, or you could try Facebook Marketplace, but just make sure that you meet the person somewhere public and safe, and make sure that it's somewhere where you can plug it in and test it out. So yeah, those are my recommendations. $500 even, it's really tough to sort of make a recommendation there. Like I would say $500 even. That's a really hard choice. A little bit over $500 and you could get a Fanatec CSL direct drive and one of their CSL BMW wheels, and then you could get like the CSL 2 pedals. Let's just take a look. This will be my last discussion and then we'll move on, close out the video or whatever. But CSL DD, no, I'm in the wrong region because I'm in Japan right now, so I'm gonna go USA. So $350. Yeah, it's a long pre-order date, but I mean, what would you rather do? Get ripped off right now, or get a good deal and then, like have to wait a while for it to come in, but at least you're not getting ripped off. So yeah, you gotta wait to get this, but let's just, for sanity's sake, let's figure out a very basic CSL direct drive setup just to see how much you can get it for. So right here, look at that. We've got a wheelbase direct drive and we've got 2 pedals for $430. So we're getting close. We need the steering wheel still, but we're getting there. Fanatec organizes these things by highest cost to lowest cost. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So yeah, let's take a look at this, because this is really close on price, right? Okay, I know the shipping times are taking a long time. So nope. I don't know why they don't just let me view the cart. Okay, we have to see it over here on the side. Let's get that over here. Okay, so take a look at that. CSL DD, CSL pedals, and CSL steering wheel for $570. So that's only $130, $120, $450 to $570, so $120. $120 difference over the T300RS GT Edition. You get a direct drive. You get bought into an ecosystem that has way more upgradability long term. And you get a wheel that has much more inputs. So yeah, I really hesitate to recommend any beginner gear that's at the $500 mark, because at $570 you just get so much better stuff. T300RS GT Edition, that's as far as I would go into beginner hardware. So just to summarize, Logitech Driving Force GT, that's my recommendation at $80. At $140, I recommend Logitech G27. Not any more than $140. At $200 to $250, I recommend G29 or G920 by Logitech, or if you can find it, the T150 Pro. And if you really want to try hard, finding a used T300RS GT Edition for $250, but it's used and it's in the marketplace, so you'll have to take your chances. Anything beyond $400, you could buy a T300RS GT Edition for $450, but just understand that you are sacrificing a much better ecosystem if you were to go with Fanatec for $570. So that's it. Sorry I went over a little bit because I needed to explain stuff, but if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to follow through, I'm going to do a buyer's guide for the next price range, which is going to be $500 to $1,000 or $500 to $1,200. And if you really want to see that, please like and subscribe. I could really use the subscribers. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and Happy New Year.